Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we have a speed build, and this, ta-da, is what we're building today. And it is a cute little cottage in Willow Creek. And I absolutely love how this came out. I'm quite delighted with myself on this one. And it's so funny because I was sort of up until I sort of got to the point where I was doing the landscaping, I really wasn't sure if I liked it or not, and I was honestly considering scrapping it. So yeah, it actually ended up coming together. So sometimes it's just a little bit about perseverance and maybe tweaking a few things. And for me, it was changing the color of the build, because you'll see this as we go along. I initially did not start with pink. Anyway, this is the build coming together in terms of the shape and that sort of thing. So I'm just working out how I want the back area to go and how I want the porches to sit. And I'm going quite roof heavy, which I think actually worked really well for the style of build, having like the cute little overhanging roofs and that sort of thing over the windows and stuff. So that's something that I haven't done like heaps of, because I don't really do like a lot of cottages and stuff, but I really want to get into being a little bit more creative with roofing and stuff. So that's something that's on my mind. So I'm just working out the back porch at the moment. I initially was going to have it sort of wrapping around through to the side, but then when I did this fencing here, which is the fencing I think from the backyard stuff pack, I realized I didn't really want to have it jumping up. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it like this, and then we have like a little porch sorted out in the back. So it's not a huge lot. I think this is only which lot is this? I think it's a 20 by 15 lot actually. So it's actually quite a small lot. So it's not like a big lot of room in the backyard. I was thinking about having a pool and stuff, but it's a 20 by 15. There wasn't like a lot of room by the time I'd sort of got the house down and stuff. Anyway, moving on. We are doing the columns at the moment. So I'm using one of my very favourite columns, if that is such a thing. Having favourite columns. Yeah, I've got a favourite column, and it's this column from Get Together. I love that it's just plain and simple. It's square, so it's really good for like using for the corners of builds and stuff, just to emphasize the shape of the build. So, and I like that the color is a nice crisp white. It's actually got a really good range of colors. So that's the column from Get Together, which yeah, I will use all of the time if I can get away with it. And I think it worked really nicely with it. I mean, like a decorative column would also work really well, but because I was stretching it up or stacking it, it actually stacks really nicely. Whereas some of the decorative columns, if you have like little bases to them or something, when you actually have to stack, if you're going up 2 stories and you need to stack the column, if it's not going to stretch the whole way, it actually looks a little funny. So you do need to be conscious, I think, a little bit of which columns you are stacking or using, particularly if it's like a 2-story build like this one. And if it's something where there is like something that interrupts the stack, interrupts the pull of the column all the way up, and you do need to stack it, and then you have like a funny fluted bit at the bottom of the column, like kind of halfway up the house, and that doesn't necessarily work that well. So having something like this Get Together column where it is square and plain and you can stack it really nicely is absolutely perfect. Anyway, banging on about this column for ages. So it's coming together nicely. This is the point where I'm kind of like really second guessing if I like this or not. Look, I don't think it's ugly or anything at this point. I just was kind of like, I don't know. So anyway, I was using the little under the window things from, I think that's from Get Famous, is it? No, that can't be from Get Famous. Anyway, I don't get to use those little window boxes very often, so I was actually quite pleased to be able to use those, and I think they look really cute on the house. And I wanted to have like lots of colour and stuff, so I was thinking sort of wildflowers. I actually ended up changing that plan a little bit, in the sense that I sort of started putting in all sorts of colours and that sort of thing, and I just felt like it jangled a little bit too much, if using the technical term, jangled. But that was kind of my feeling. I was just kind of like, it's just not gelling for me, because I used like the Romantic Garden stuff pack flowers for a lot of the flowers, and I like went all sort of wild and all sorts of colors. And yeah, that's sort of when I started putting those down, and I was looking at the house and I was looking at how it's come together, and I was kind of like, oh, this just is not working. It's too, it's not cohesive. It doesn't really, gel. I'm not happy with it. So you'll sort of see that as I'm sort of getting to this point. I'm just using debug as well. So using, I think that's from Cottage Living, actually. From Debug and Cottage Living. I love that little plant though, it's really nice. So just getting down the Romantic Garden Stuff Pack flowers, so just using an assortment from there and just some bits and pieces from Debug and stuff like that. And yeah, so just getting it all together and trying to make it work. So just getting lots of flowers, because my initial thought was having like the greenhouse and having like all sorts of different coloured flowers. And then I found this in Debug, this wall flower hanging thing. Ivy type of flowering ivy. There we go. That's the word I'm going for. So I found that and I was like, oh, that looks really good with the pink. And then just like I had too many colours. And yeah, I needed to settle that down a little bit. And this is something I don't do very often. Now, I am conscious of the fact that some people don't like having the flowers and stuff on the roof, because sometimes they can sort of hang there oddly when you're playing, and I get that. But I decided, you know what, I'm just going to risk it for the biscuit, and I wanted to have like a whole flowing concept with the plants coming down. I think it absolutely looks lovely on the house. I did play test this house, and this is the point where I went down and I looked at it and I just went, I don't like this. This is not working for me. And then I changed this to red and pink on the windows, and then I switched the garden around so it was more harmonious with sort of red and pink shades, and then it was starting to come together. I was like, oh, you know what? I like that. Yes. So this is, sometimes it's not the build that you're looking at and it's just not working. Sometimes it's just about changing the colors. And that is absolutely what happened to me in this build. It's just like I just needed to change the colors. That was it. So I've put down the cottage living path. So, and just outlining that with a bit of stone. I'm just going to put some more flowers and plants and bits and pieces in, just to pretty it up and add, that sort of little overgrown touch that I think you have with gardens sometimes. So, I mean, with cottage gardens, that is, that overgrown sort of vibe. And I think that worked really nicely with the Romantic Garden Stuff Pack. Garden stuff. That was a mouthful. Romantic Garden Stuff Pack garden stuff. That sort of suited the vibe of the cottage so nicely. And of course, obviously, we're going for romantic because it is a little Valentine's house. So having the Romantic Garden Stuff Pack stuff worked so nicely. And of course, I wanted to put in the cute little outdoor chair, and I decided to put like a little bird bath there as well because I thought that would be sweet. And I was just thinking about some different potted plants that I could have around the place as well that would work. So that's what I'm just working on at the moment, just like trying to decide which little potted plants would work really nicely in the garden and where that they would work nicely around the house and that sort of thing. And I did want to have like a little window seat under there, so I was just trying to decide which chair I wanted there, and then I thought this steel one with like all the filigree kind of stuff on the back and the ironwork, I thought that would look really, it's really sort of romantic and pretty, because I thought like the stone one wouldn't work so nicely on the porch, but I thought the stone one would work really nicely in the garden. So that's what I did. So just working on now the back area. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do down the bottom, because I had initially thought pool, but there wasn't really enough room for a pool, and I could have squished it in, but I didn't really want to squish it in and just make it squishy. So I thought, well, more garden, and we'll just have like some seating, and keep it pretty simple. And then on the porch we could add in like the barbecue and, you know, the outdoor sort of living kind of stuff. So another one of the stone chairs going into the back corner. And I thought, well, you know what, they kind of would be sweet to have like a, you know, a little bit of coverage. So that's why I put the trees in, and then I decided it needed something in behind there because it was kind of like a weird gap. So bushes and more plants. And I mean, really, in a build like this, you can't go too overboard with plants, I don't think. I mean, like, the more plants the merrier in a little build like that. And of course we've got the cute little get together, what's it called, mailbox, that's the word, mailbox, which suits the house perfectly. And I did like a little tiny little light path going through to the rubbish bin, and yeah, just added like a couple more plants and stuff around the back. But yeah, kept it pretty simple. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having like a bit of lawn. Not everything needs to be covered. It's fine. And I sometimes have to tell myself that. Sometimes I need to hear it. And if it's me that has to say it, then it's me that has to say it. So I thought like this cute little bistro table. Once again, I'm using quite a lot of get together in this. It's a really good pack for, I guess, romantic kind of traditional builds. So, you know, I'm plumbing the depths of it. Yeah, that little romantic kind of bistro table. I found the little rose and I was like, perfect, I'm going to put that on there. And then I placed it completely wrong. Anyway, doing that there, and then adding in, I had that little, I don't know, it's like, what is it? It's like a Moroccan kind of barbecue. Anyway, I decided to use that because it came in white and I thought that was perfect. And what about a nice little rocking chair and a sun chair at the back? Yeah, that works. So that's what I did. So, and did the drinks table from Backyard Stuff. Now, I didn't use any kits in this build, so it is, I guess, essentially kind of a little bit of a limited pack build, but I did use everything else except kits. So while it's limited pack, it's not really all that limited at the end of the day, but I didn't use any kits in this build, so hopefully that should be nice and accessible for people. And just adding in a few more windows because I wanted to have like some little shorter windows without the shutters on them, because I needed something without shutters because it was too narrow a space to get away with having shutters in it, but I kind of felt like it did need windows there. Yeah, so I think we're just about done with the outside, so I think we're ready to move inside and get some decorating done. So as far as the floor plan goes, I did struggle a little bit with it, just trying to work out how I wanted that to go and where I wanted everything to go. So I mean, you know, it's a cottage, so it's not like super roomy or anything like that, but I've got all the essentials there, so that's what counts. So just trying to work out how I want this to go. So in that little corner in behind the stairs that we've just blocked off, that's going to be a bathroom. So there's going to be 2 bathrooms. Yeah, 2 bathrooms, 1 bedroom. And the kitchen area is going to be in behind on the other side of the stairs there. And then the dining... Yeah, the dining is going to be in behind the kitchen, and then the living is going to be on the other side. So I'm just creating like a little study over on this little nook, because I was initially thinking of putting the dining there, but it was just it didn't quite work with the placement of the kitchen, because the kitchen was going to be on the other side of the house. It's kind of like it's kind of weird to have like a dining room on the other side of the house from the kitchen. So I moved it and put a little study area here instead. And I'm using I always mix up the Vintage Glamour and the Luxury Party Stuff pack. I can't remember which one out of the 2 those curtains are from. I feel like Vintage Glamour. Could be wrong though. So anyway, just made it a sweet little romantic kind of study area. And then a little hall table there. So we've got our little entranceway as well. And just going to add I've just found like a couple of little bits and pieces, because obviously I'm not using the kits, so I can't plumb the depths of the everyday clutter kit and take advantage of that. So I was like, oh well. Using the Seasons Hall rack, hall table, hall, what is it, coat rack, coat thingy, and that's the high school years mirror. I really love that mirror. Now that I've discovered that that's probably one of, I think, the only mirror that starts down on the bottom and that you can lift up and place at whatever height you like. I'm just like all there for that particular mirror. I love that mirror now. So there. It's my new favorite mirror. And I'm using the Growing Together kitchen, well, not, it's not really kitchen. I can't believe they didn't do counters with Growing Together. Like, why not? You did like a fridge and an oven. Why didn't you do counters with it? Anyway, I'm just using the Dream Home Decorator counters with that and the grey and the white. So the interior will be grey, white and pink. So that's the interior vibe. I'm using the Growing Together kitchen bar stools as well, and just doing like a little bar nook area. So there's like a little bar nook area, and then there is like a little tiny dining area. So there's quite a few options for seating when the Sims are eating, so that's kind of handy. And then sweet little tea display. I don't know, I just decided I didn't like that flower, so I switched it to a different flower. Oh. So sink wise, I am going to move that sink over because I decided that I wanted to have like the dishes thing, and then I decided I didn't want the dishes thing and got rid of the dishes thing and left the sink where it was. So anyway, using the for rent curtains, which I actually really like these little curtains. I think they're quite sweet for kitchens and that sort of thing. Using, I've just changing the wallpaper to tiling, which is from Jungle Adventure, and sticking that with the grey. I actually quite liked the high tile on that. I think having the pattern in the background actually sort of mixed things up a little bit, which I really liked, and it worked quite nicely with the wallpaper that we already had in place, so that's cute. I'm just putting like a couple of shelves above that hanging thing from Dine Out, because I don't really like the top of it, but I wanted to use something that wasn't Cool Kitchen for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I didn't. So I'm using the for rent marble containers as canisters and the for rent stacked snack thing. And then I decided that after that I don't want to add like a second lot of shelving, so I added more stuff there. You know, just sort of things evolve and ideas evolve as you go along. I think I just wanted to mix it up and not use like the same old things that I always use, because if I'm doing a kitchen, I always want to use Cool Kitchen and Home Chef Hustle, because they have some fabulous hanging stuff. They have some really wonderful stuff that can go on the benches and stuff like that. So yeah, I was trying to mix it up a little bit. I do that every now and then, you know, I just want to mix it up. So this is where I was kind of deciding if I wanted to move the... No, hang on, start again. So this is where I decided that I wanted to have the hanging thing from Home Chef Hustle with the dishes. And so I moved the sink, and then I decided that I did not want to do that because I wanted to not use the Home Chef Hustle stuff. So I used the pans instead and still kept the sink over there and just added some bits and pieces to the top of the fridge. Is what I did there. So keeping it cute and pink, I'm carrying on to the dining little nook here. So just using the cats and dogs chairs and the cottage living table. The pink, I couldn't get a hutch that matched in pink, so I just went with grey on the hutch, and I think that worked really nicely. Cottage living flowers just to sit in the corner of the table, and that's basically our little dining area. I'm just going to add like in the curtains and a rug as well, which worked really nicely. I found like a really cute rug from Seasons, I think that is, and that worked nicely. And then I used the high school years round rug underneath the table in the pink, and I was like, perfect, the pinks match, because I mean sometimes you have like pinks and stuff like that and they don't match, and that's the problem. I think pinks and reds, it's a lot harder to match shades of like pinks and reds together, because sometimes they can look really quite different and can clash a bit if you're not careful. So yeah, pinks and reds can sometimes be a little bit tricky as far as decorating goes, if you've got like all sorts of different shades. Like they can be quite off if you're not careful. So a little bit tricksome sometimes, but fortunately in the Sims there is enough of the shade of pink that I chose to work throughout the whole of the build as an accent color. So I was initially going to do this as a 2-bedroom build, but just the shape and where the stairs were and everything like that, it was just really did not work. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to squish this in. I'm just going to make this like a cute little romantic cottage for a couple, probably an elderly couple, I was thinking. And you know what, that will be enough. You don't need to squish it in and have like 2 squished in bedrooms. Let's just give them some space to have all their little things and bits and pieces. Now, I did end up using 2 different kinds of curtain in the room, because like the windows on the corner, the 4-inch curtain actually stuck out on the side because the rail's too long and came through the wall, so I couldn't actually use that in all like the cornery on the cornery windows. So yeah, so I decided, what's wrong with having 2 different kinds of curtains? So that's what I did. Just using the sort of bright pink bed there. Once again, I've just, a lot of the pink beds that we had option wise were quite modern, and I felt like for this build I wanted to go like a more traditional vibe home, with more traditional touches, as far as, you know, like having a little bit more decorative edges to the beds and the tables and, you know, the lamps and that sort of thing. So yeah, I went with that bed, and then of course I had the option of a vanity, so I took advantage of that with the cats and dogs chair, and just put like cute little vanity things on there, you know, little bits and pieces of clutter. Once again, I didn't have access to the kits because I made this a kit free build, so I couldn't use my favorite stuff, which is from the bathroom clutter and everyday clutter stuff kits. So, you know, I made do. It was fine. And I did play around with dresses for a little bit, and then found this one. I was like, well, that matches the vanity, so that's absolutely perfect. And then I decided to do like a little cute little mirror above there, just to the side, so I could put like a little plant or something, and just break up the white a little bit on the wall with a little tiny bit of green. And just using a tiny home stuff pack plant. I love that little plant. It's so cute. Putting some shoes down underneath the vanity, that made sense. And just some more bits and pieces of clutter and stuff on the dresser, because of course things don't click very well, so you know, you got to drag it across. Then I had the fun of trying to choose a chair, and these little wicker chairs from high school years I actually thought were absolutely perfect, because A, they're the perfect pink, and B, sort of wicker and that sort of thing does lend itself towards a more traditional vibe home. Just looking for some artwork to go on there, and once again, because I'm going more traditional, I'm doing something with frames, and like slightly heavier frames work there. And then I did the egg chair, that fit really nicely there, and I was like, absolutely perfect, because I was looking for a chair to fit in that little space for a while. Then I saw the little egg chair from high school years, so I was like, oh, perfect, that will work really nicely. Then I realized I'd forgotten the bathroom downstairs. So I was like, oopsie. So now we're going to smash out the bathrooms. Kept it pretty simple as far as the colours went. I just kept them the same as the tiling that we put into the kitchen, and then just white tiles on the floor. So we had a little bit of space in this one just because of the shape of it and that sort of thing. I felt it kind of lent itself to having a bath, and I wanted to do like some little pops of pink where I could in there, just to keep up the vibe of the home with all the romance and the pink and the pretty. So yeah, I did like a little pink bath, and then a little pink toilet went in that little corner because I thought that fit in there nicely and was nice and hidden away, so you know, you got a little bit of privacy if for whatever reason you're sharing the bathroom at the time. I don't know, you might be. And I was trying to, you know what we need in the game is we actually need some like toilet mats. Is there toilet mats in the game? Oh, I should check that before I go on a rant about that. Maybe there is ones and I haven't like used them. It's possible, but you know, you get like in the homeware stores and stuff, you get the toilet mats that go around the base of your toilets. We need more of those. if there is some in the game, I haven't used them, and there probably isn't enough in the range of colours. So upstairs onto the second bathroom, this is a bit more of a traditional shape, so I didn't have quite as much room to work with. And I kept it pretty simple with just putting in like a shower and toilet and basin. I did put in like a faux laundry hamper. Because I didn't have a laundry, I didn't want to put like an actual laundry hamper in there and sort of, oh boy, rubbish. It's Mondays, so they're collecting the rubbish outside. So I'm sorry if you hear like all sorts of banging and crashing outside. I have got the window shut and everything shut up and made it as quiet as I can, and still there's going to be noise outside. Oh well. I'm doing my best I can. So just doing like little hints of pink around the room, little bits and pieces there. Just doing the pink towel holders, and I did the little pink thing soap dispenser from Snowy Escape as well. And I think we're just going to get a rug down, and then that's just about going to be our build. So we can take a wee tour of what we did and see how pretty and romantic it is. Oh, there we go, just doing the little finishing touches on the wall. There we go, and we're done. Yay, let's take a tour. So this is the outside. So I'm using the Love Shade Vogue from Hazel Mine. So that's the reshade that I'm using for these pictures, and I think actually it's a really nice soft reshade, so it works really nicely with pinks and browns. It doesn't work so well with greens. So you can sort of see the lovely garden, the flowing plants, the little window seats underneath, or window boxes underneath and stuff. And then inside here, where you can see all the little touches of pink and white and grey, and it's all very soft and lovely and romantic. I actually really love how this came out. It's so pretty. I would so live in a house like this. Maybe something, I'd probably like something bigger, but if it was just me, like in the house, for example, I would love that. I think that would be a perfect size for just me, or just like, if it's me and my husband, that would be perfect. And I love all the touches of, pink and grey is just like a killer combination for colours anyway, so I think it all works really nicely together. I think the bathroom ended up quite lovely, and up into the bedroom, nice and spacious bedroom. So you've got your vanity, you've got seats, so you can sit there and have a chitty chat, or sit there and get your socks and shoes on, or whatever you're going to do. I think it came out really lovely, and I love that little branch with the pink on it too. I think that's really sweet. Well guys, I want to say thank you for watching, and just remember, if you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as well, so you can come back for the next one. You guys have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.